I really wish somebody would have told me this in the very beginning of being an entrepreneur, especially online. Nobody told me this. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and dozens of mentors and tons of workshops. And in almost 15 years of being an entrepreneur, nobody actually told me what I'm going to share with you in this video. But this is what I wish I would have heard in the very beginning. And that is, quite simply, the fruit of something is determined by the seed of something. Now, here's what I mean by that. I started out in my entrepreneurial journey with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of rush, a lot of hurry, and a lot of scarcity. I was performing or striving to perform from this prove it energy. I was angry. I was trying to get ahead. I was really not at peace. And a lot of what I was doing was trying to claw my way out of my situation to win. It was coming from a place of striving, trying, proving, a lot of scarcity around money. I thought by taking more action, I'd get somewhere. Well, I did. Eventually, I got out of the hole that I was in and I actually started making more money. But the interesting bit about it, it created more scarcity. Even when I had a six-figure business, I was making multi-six figures and I was still feeling the same feelings that I was feeling when I had no money and was starting the thing. And that's because the seed of it determines the fruit of it. I was planting seeds, so to speak. The actions that I was taking, the energy, the beingness that I was in as I was starting the business created more of that energy for myself. I was found myself more stressed because I had more responsibilities, more constrained on time, even if I wasn't as constrained on money. And I was spending money just as fast as I was making it to invest in the business more. So I always had this thing that I was chasing, this number that I was chasing. That energy didn't stop when I started hitting my goals, because the seed of something determines the fruit of something. So what I've noticed now and how I'm doing business is it's coming from a very peaceful place. It's coming from an excited place. It's coming from an artful place. And I'm already starting to see some very, very beginning fruits of this. And it's more peace and it's more ease and it's referrals coming out of nowhere without me trying. It's things just kind of happening a little bit more gracefully, but because I'm doing it all from a place of grace. I'm doing it all not from a place of striving. And what's interesting is when I started what I'm doing now, my situation wasn't and isn't much different than when I started out multiple years ago before I did relationship coaching, or before that when I was a fitness coach. The situation was the same. I'm at zero, don't have an income, I got to make stuff happen. I approached it much different this time. And what I'm recognizing is it's enforcing more trust and it's reinforcing more faith and belief in God. It's reinforcing and strengthening my relationship with God, because what I'm doing now is created from a relationship with God. What I was doing before, I didn't have God as a part of the equation of my life. It was, what do I want to do? And I'm going to go do that thing. And so it created more, what do I want to do? And it was like quicksand, spiritually, emotionally, even financially. So I want you to think about, what's the energy at which you're taking action? Is it from scarcity? Is it stressed and tense? Is it striving and trying to prove? Like, really slow down and look at your intentions. Look at the energy in which it's showing up. Because look, there might be real things in your life where you need to make stuff happen financially. I get that. And you can still show up in service without the pressure from that affecting you. Y'all, like, I've showed up on sales calls literally needing rent that day, not having any money, not knowing where it was going to come from. I got this one opportunity on a sales call. It's tough to not do everything in your power to make that happen or to put a lot of weight on that. But to give it up and go, you know what, God, I'm going to show up and serve. Maybe this person doesn't need it, and maybe the money isn't going to come in through this way, but I'm going to show up, be present, and serve. And every time I show up in service, God's always provided. But when I start thinking about myself too much, thinking about the self only leads to creating things where you'll need to think more about yourself. But if you start with service, it's going to lead for more opportunities for service. The seed of something leads to more of that thing. Like the seed of an apple planted creates an apple tree that has the fruit that has tons of seeds in it, right? That's how things work. You don't plant an apple seed and get an orange tree. But I think as an entrepreneur, we tend to think that I just got to grind. I got to hustle just for this little bit of time, and then I'll retire, and then I'll be good. Once I do this, I'll lock in, I'll disappear for 3 months or 6 months, and then I'll be there. And that's destination syndrome, destination disease. I'm sorry. And it will create this chasing a carrot into your grave. You'll literally be chasing a carrot for the rest of your life. When are you just going to be here? Because there is no there. There's only here. So what if you were to create from a place of presence, create from a place of expression, create from a place of ease, not from a place of fear, trying, striving? You see what I mean? The seed determines the fruit of the thing. And that's an energetics principle that nobody taught me. And I literally wasted actually over a decade creating stuff, doing stuff. Sure, I saw results. And there's a lot of people out there that results are kind of their marker for success. But if you get the results without fulfillment, you're a failure, as Tony Robbins says. So getting the results isn't the marker for success, truly. That's a very important part of it. But are you fulfilled? And so don't sabotage or sell your soul for the sake of getting results like I did. And thank you, Jesus, for redemption and salvation, to do things different and to do it again. And, at least where I'm at now, I ain't rushing anything. And before it was all rushed. The success loves speed stuff. There's a lot of principles that work, but principles without the prince, if you know what I mean, it's just witchcraft. It's more you trying to make something happen instead of you being obedient and recognizing that God's the one that brings the rain. God's the one that brings the sunlight. God's the one that's going to bring the results or not. That's not on your shoulders. But when we take on that, I'm going to make it happen, we edge God out of the equation. Our ego takes over. And it's just going to create more of that. And in my case, it created, I was really lonely, even though I had a lot of people around me, even though it looked like I had a good social circle. I was really lonely because I was doing everything myself. Even though I had a team, I was still doing things myself. Even though I had mentors, I was still doing things myself. And that aloneness wasn't actually filled until I deepened my relationship with God. And so if I can look at zoom out, do your relationship with God. See God as the CEO of your business and a business partner almost. And you're the manager, and it's his business. He's hired you on to carry out a task. How would you show up? How would you greet the clients? How would you create the things? How would you conduct business if God himself ordained you to be a manager of XYZ thing? We don't think about it like that. We're like, I got this good idea and I'm trying to make it happen. What if God chose you to do that thing for him? Now, if you have a deep relationship with God, you're going to take that with a lot more reverence, and you're also going to really ensure that you're doing the best job you can. You probably won't rush. If anything comes up, it's going to be, I don't want to disappoint him. Great, well, be you. He chose you. I don't have the qualifications. He chose you. But I don't know. He chose you. What if you started from a seed of knowing that you were chosen for what God has put on your heart? And all you need is obedience. That level of confidence and that level of obedience is going to create then more confidence and more obedience, which means more opportunities. He's going to, if for you to be obedient, there's got to be an opportunity. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, and you get to see, and hopefully this is a check for you to see, what energy am I in as I'm creating, And do I want to live in more of this energy? If you were to time blip into the future, and sure, things have changed in your life, but energetically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, it's the same. Is that what you want? Because money just fixes money problems. It doesn't fix emotional, spiritual, or even mental problems. Success brings a lot more opportunity for stress because you have a lot more responsibilities. So what if how you're showing up right now is just going to be amplified by your success and by your money? The seed of something determines the fruit of something. Hope this has been beneficial to you. Let me know in the comments if it has. Also hit that subscribe button because I'm dropping new YouTube videos every week, and I'm just excited to be sharing business principles with y'all from real life experience that's helped me build a business in a very authentic and integral way, especially in an age with AI and everybody's copying everybody and just kind of like spitting out the same stuff. The world needs more people who care genuinely, not just about making money, but care to leave an impact, to do it in a very unique way. Because the more people that happens, I believe the better world that we live in. So be sure to subscribe, follow along for that journey, and hopefully you can be one of those few.